This is the Square It Up tool. It's designed to draft perfect patterns for point-to-point swags, also known as drapery swags. Point-to-point swags are unique in that their pleats stack on top of each other. A perfect point-to-point swag requires that the four corners of the pattern be perfect 90-degree square corners. When we set this tool to the pattern dimensions, it automatically shapes the pattern perfectly. Once you receive your package and unpack it, you will have inside 3 acrylic rulers. They have a very thin film of plastic on them that you don't see immediately. You can leave that on. It will quickly become roughed up with use, and then it's very easy to peel off. They are each marked. One is R is right, C is center, L is left. You will also receive 2 bolts, 4 washers, 2 knobs, a Velcro strap, and instructions. The Square It Up tool is very easy to assemble. Take your left ruler and place it vertically over your center ruler. Take the right ruler and place it vertically under the center ruler. Take 1 bolt and a washer and place it up through the slits in the left and center ruler. Take another washer and then the knob, like so. Do the same with the other 2 rulers. Bolt, washer, through the slits, second washer, and the knob. Now, as you can see, this allows the rulers to float freely so that you can set them to your desired pattern dimensions. When you're done using the rulers, bring them into a stack, like so. Tighten down the knobs and add the Velcro strap as an extra support, and then you can hang it on the wall. If you'd like more information about point-to-point swags, how to use them in your designs both as standalone valances or as overlays to panels, how to draft patterns with different variations, how to troubleshoot issues, and how to fabricate a finished swag and handle the bulk of the stack, you can find that information in my book, The Professional Workroom Handbook of Swags, Volume 1, and you can find that at theworkroommarketplace.com. Now, you are ready to draw your pattern. You've already decided what your finished width and your finished length needs to be. Your first step then is to drape beaded weight chain and simulate the finished dimensions of your swag. This is your finished width, and your finished length is from the highest point of the pleat stack to the lowest point. That's your finished length. So you drape the weight chain, and now this gives you a nice visual, so that as you are looking at this, if you don't like the proportions of this shape, it's very simple to change it. If this seems too low, you can bring it up or bring it lower. And the same with the bottom curve. You can take it down or shorten it. So the beaded weight chain is a great visual to help you get the proportions just right. Once you are satisfied with the proportions and the shape of your swag, you're now ready to fill out the worksheet that came with your Square It Up tool. On that worksheet, you would fill in the finished width. which is of course from here to here. The finished length is from the highest point to the lowest point, and the body of the swag is from the top curve to the bottom curve. This is where all the fabric is. Now those are the actual finished swag dimensions. Now we can measure the beaded weight chain to fill out the top curve length and the bottom curve length on the worksheet. To calculate the pattern size, that's based on how many folds you want to have in the face of the swag and how deep you want those folds to be. This is where, because it's so easy to draw a pattern, you can experiment with different variations. I would suggest for now that you start off with 4 or 5 folds on a swag, and then you can experiment from there. And if your swag is standalone with nothing behind it, you can make the folds up to 5 or 6 inches deep. Whereas if you are making a drapery swag, one that's going to have a drapery panel behind it, then you want your folds to be fairly shallow so they're not crushed by the drapery. So those folds would be 4 to 4.5 inches. For our sample in this video, let's have 5 folds and we will make them 4 inches deep. So if we were to calculate that out, that's 5 folds at 4 inches is 20 inches. And then we always add 2 inches for seam allowance and ease. So the side of our pattern will be 22 inches long. When drafting a pattern for a swag or cutting a finished swag, we always work with half a pattern. It's placed on the fold line of the fabric, and in that way we assure that we have a perfectly symmetrical swag. To set the Square It Up tool to our pattern dimensions, we unfold it. Like so. We bring the left leg all the way down to the 0 mark on the center leg. This one is our bottom curve of our pattern. We measured our beaded weight chain and decided our bottom curve is 62 inches, so we want this leg to be set at half of that, 31 inches. So we bring the left leg down to the 31-inch mark inside this square here. And we align the ruler with the center ruler and tighten it down. The center ruler is the side of our pattern. We don't cut this in half because that's the full side. And we calculated our side should be 22. So we bring the right ruler down to the 22 mark. The right ruler is the top curve of our pattern, and we measure that as 35. Half of that is 17.5. So we will bring this ruler up to the 17.5-inch mark here and align it with the 22-inch mark, using the straight lines on this ruler to make sure that we are a perfect square corner here. And that is your pattern shape right there. We take this now and we take the 0 mark on both legs and we bring it down to our fold line. Here, and then we swing this one up to our fold line here, so that both the 0 marks on the inside of the pattern are on the fold line. And then we trace the inside of the pattern. I am using a Sharpie marker. I don't usually use that in the workroom, but it makes it nice and dark so that you can see the lines. We're now done with the tool. That's all we needed it for. And we can set it aside. And there's your pattern shape. We don't want the top line of the swag to come to a point in the center. So we will square off this center point right here just a little bit to make it a gentle curve. And you can freehand this just like so up to the corner point here. Now you could leave the bottom center of the swag to come to a point. That would be a pretty cool design detail, but if you don't want it to, if you want it to just be a gentle curve, again, we would square off this point just a little bit here at the bottom by bringing in a straight line, about 1.5 inches or so, and then curving that up to the top corner. You can do that freehand. I often like to use these aluminum rulers. They flex very nicely. Now, how much you flex this is really a matter of experimentation, but I find you don't have to flex it too much off the straight of the original pattern, just a little bit. If you flex it too much, it's very easy to trim it later when we test out our pattern. And there we have our pattern, and we're ready to cut it out. And this is our pattern shape. The next step is to mark the folds on these sides. First we mark off 1 inch on each side, which is going to be eaten up later with a seam allowance and a little bit of ease. And that leaves the 20 inches for pleating. And we said 5 4-inch folds, so I'll mark off the 4-inch folds. And because we're fan folding, we're actually going to also mark off half the fold. We mark the same on the back. And we're now ready to pleat this up and hang it up to test out the finished length. The sides of the point-to-point swag are fan folded into a stack. It is important to make sure that you fold it right at each of your marks. Any deviation shows up on the front of the swag in the size and shape of the folds. Notice I'm not worrying about the rest of the swag over here because that will all dress out when I hang it up. So it should fold back like this with your stack and then with your extra for ease. Make sure that all of these are perfectly level. They are not here. So we want to level all of this off perfectly. Again, if you allow one of these folds to sag or stick out above the rest, that will show in the way that your fold drapes on the front of the swag. So it looks like this. For testing the swag, I like to use binder clips just to hold the stack in place so that I can hang it, like so. I also find the top curve, which is the shorter one here, and that's the inside of the swag. The outer curve is here, I put a drapery hook through as many layers as possible to hold them all in place, like so. And this is how we'll hang it. The swags hang really well and drape out nice if they are hung from this front point and not from the center of the stack. Now we do the same thing with the other side. I use my marks to fan fold the side. And then I make sure that all my folds are level with each other. I use a binder clip to secure it. Then I find the top fold, which is again this one. This is the inside top fold, and this is the outside bottom fold here. And on the inside, I'm going to put a drapery hook through as many layers as possible. If you're having trouble getting your drapery hook through all the layers, go ahead and put a pin or a staple down below here. When you're testing it out, you want all the layers locked into this here, to this point. And now we're ready to hang it up and dress it out and see if it's a good pattern. When designing for a drapery swag, always remember to give it its own rings on each side. This way, it doesn't have to share the last ring with the panel, which can get kind of crowded. As you can see, when the pattern is drawn correctly, the swag just simply drapes out into beautiful, perfect folds. Now, this top line may seem a little longer than what we wanted it to be, but remember, this is the pattern, and we haven't taken off any seam allowance up here yet to finish off the ends. So your final swag will actually be about an inch or so shorter than this, the correct length. If you don't like your outer fold here, maybe you flexed the ruler too much when you were shaping it, it's very simple at this point to take a pair of scissors and just simply trim it to a beautiful shape. But I think we've got a perfect swag pattern here.